Hi, welcome back to walleyworkshop.com. I'm at the point here with the engine hours where I need to change my oil. We meant to do it a couple weeks ago at 80, but I'm up to about 95 hours now. So changing the oil on the Verado is very simple. First thing you need to do, tilt your motor all the way up. That way if there's any oil trapped in the engine, it'll give it a chance to drain down into the sump. And you only need to do this for about a minute. And then you tilt it back down and you can get started with the rest of the oil change. But as long as we got it up, I'll show you where the oil drain is on this Verado. It's right up here under the plate above the cavitation plate. So that's the oil drain. Pretty simple. You just uncork that dude and drain it right into the oil pan, and surprisingly it comes out with very little mess at all. So I'm going to trim this motor down and we'll get started. Okay, just before we pull the drain plug, we're going to go ahead and take the top cowling off. Now this giant motor has two separate cowlings. You got your top and you got this back panel back here. We don't need to remove the back panel to change the oil. It's a pretty simple operation. Alright, I'm ready to drain the oil. Like I showed you earlier, the drain plug's right under here, under this surface here. The nice thing about this job is the only tools you need is a 12mm wrench and a filter wrench. So the 12mm wrench will go right on the drain plug. Make sure you turn it the right way. Once you get it loose, get a hold of it with your hand. You don't want it to drop and fall down the hole in your catch pan. So once you feel that thing starting to break free, just pull your hand out of the way, guide your catch pan right where it needs to be. Make sure your gasket's still here on the screw and not stuck up here, because that could end up falling off down the drain and you won't have your gasket. One of the tricks you can do if you don't have enough room under your skeg, lower your jack stand on the front of the boat. That brings your skeg up and you can get your catch pan under here real nice. Okay, with the oil still draining down in the catch pan there, we're going to go ahead and take the oil filter off. Now filters are kind of mounted upside down. They're located on the starboard side of the motor towards the front. Come off pretty easy access. Just use a filter wrench. If you don't have a filter wrench, run out to Napa or any of the hardware stores and get yourself one. You don't want to tear it up trying to get it off. Because it's mounted upside down like this, most of the oil drains out of the filter before you pull it off, so you don't end up with a big mess in your garage. That's it, simple as that. Dirty Verado filter. Okay, now all we got to do is throw the new filter on. What we need to do first is oil up the bottom side of this gasket with clean oil, not the dirty stuff that came off of there. And then it'll be ready to install. So I just got the bottle of oil here. Just get my finger down in there. Get them all nice and slick. And just install the filter. One thing about the filter, as soon as it gets snug, as soon as you tighten it, as soon as that gasket touches that housing surface, you go 3/4 of a turn, no more. So we're at you can see the label here. I'm just going to turn this around until the label's approximately facing forward on the boat. That's about 3/4 of a turn. All done. Okay, we got the oil drained, we got the filter on. Now we just got to put the plug back in the oil drain. Then we'll go up top and we'll fill the oil. This motor takes 7 liters of oil. Alright, now we got the plug back in, the filter's on. Next thing we do here is just load the Verado up with oil. And the oil fill is located on the rear of the motor on the top, big yellow button. Big yellow knob. Don't forget to put that back on. You want to use a filter or else you'll end up spilling oil all over the place. But before you put any old filter on here, wipe it down nice and clean. You don't want any foreign material getting down into your engine. Okay, like I said, it takes 7 liters of oil. So that's this is a 4-liter bottle, so we'll put one of these in and most of the rest of the second bottle. Need a ladder for this job. To get any of the oil that's kind of stuck in part of the block down into the sump, like it's recommended in the manual, tilt the motor all the way up for about a minute. That should settle it out, and then tilt it back down. The rest of your oil should be in the pump, or in the sump rather, then go check your dipstick. All right, the motor sat up for about a minute, so now we just need to check the dipstick to see where it's at. The dipstick is just inside the port side of the motor. Big round yellow handle, can't miss it. If you look, there's a crosshatch section on the dipstick. This is a section we want the oil to be in. You don't want it over, you don't want it way at the bottom. Somewhere close to the top, doesn't have to be all the way to the top. Get dipstick all the way back in. Pull it out again. We're still a little low. So that oil might need to settle a little bit longer. All right, we must have done a good job draining the oil because it took all the 7 liters to get that oil up into the crosshatch area of the dipstick. So that's good though. We got rid of all the old oil. Now we got brand new oil in it. We're good to go for the next 100 hours or a year of use, whichever comes first. One of the things recommended in your manual is to run the motor for about 5 minutes, whether in the water or hook up a hose to it on the hose attachment on the side of the motor. Run it for about 5 minutes and make sure you're not leaking any oil around the oil filter. So we're gonna go ahead and fire it up. One of my favorite things to do in the garage. All right, well that's it. We ran the motor for 5 minutes or so. No leaks around the oil filter. That's the purpose of running the motor for 5 minutes in the garage or on the water. Basically everything I showed you here is in the manual word for word. Always, always refer to your owner's manual and put in the recommended oils for your Verado, the recommended filters. If you're not comfortable doing it yourself, take it to your dealership. They'll be more than happy to change your oil for you. Well, that's it for this week. Don't know what we're doing next week. Mike's been out of town goofing off at Lake of the Woods with Mark Brumbaugh, but we'll figure something out. Thanks for watching. See ya.